Hi students, hope all of you are doing well. This is Dr. Umesh Dikshit, ENC Department, BLDS College of Engineering and Technology. Uh, Here I'm going to teach you the professional elective subject of BTU, Operating System with the subject code 18EC641. Here I have listed out some of the course outcomes. Dear students, the entire syllabus is divided into 5 modules, and from each of the modules, we are going to get one outcome. Here, after completing this course, you'll be able to explain the basic concepts of operating system and different classes of operating system. You'll be able to summarize the concepts of processes, threads, and scheduling after completing the second module. So after completing the third module, in the we'll be having the ability to explain the basics of memory management and virtual memory management. We'll be able to describe the file organization and file management after completing the fourth module of this subject. And at the end of the fifth module, you'll be able to explain message passing approaches and deadlock situations. Here, throughout the course, I'm going to refer the textbook Operating System, a Concept-Based Approach by Dhamdhere, second edition. In today's video, I'm going to start with first module. The name of the first module itself is an introduction to the operating system. So here again, I have listed out the outcomes of first module. So after completing this entire module, you'll be able to define what exactly the operating system is, and you'll be able to understand the goals of the operating system. You'll be able to summarize many of the concepts of operating system, and also you'll be able to explain the primary concern and key concepts used in different classes of operating system at the end of this first module. First, we are going to start with what is an operating system. Dear students, operating system is different for different people. It depends on the perspective of the people. Suppose if you ask the same question to a college student, he can tell that operating system is a software that permits access to the internet. If you ask the same question to the programmer, he may tell that software that allows him to develop some programs on the computer system. If the same question is asked for the user who is going to make use of an application package in a bank, in an LIC, or in any of the system, he may tell that simply the operating system is one which require to make use of that particular package. Operating system nowadays it is also used in industries in many of the automated works. So suppose if the same question is asked for a technician who is working in a computerized chemical plant, he may say that operating system for him is an invisible component and that controls or that helps to control the operations of the plant. But in generally, the operating system can be defined as collection of programs used for effective utilization of the computer system in a given computing environment. So basically, the computer is going to have a large number of resources. It consists of CPU, it consists of memory, disk, input-output devices. Like that, it is having a large number of resources. So operating system can be defined as collection of programs. Operating system itself is a program or it is collection of programs. So mainly it is used for effective utilization of the computer, but in the given computing environment. The environment in the sense It may be a single user system, multi-user system. It may be on LAN, internet, WAN, etc. So finally, the operating system can be defined as collection of programs used for effective utilization of computer system in a given computing environment. Many of the times, the operating system is also referred to as resource manager because one of the important goal of the operating system is to manage the different resources of the computer system. Okay, here we are going to discuss about the abstract view of operating system. Basically, the abstract view in the sense it is the essential characteristics. Abstract view, it is going to explain the very essential parts of the operating system. So if you look at any of the operating system, it can be divided into three layers: kernel, first layer, non-kernel routines, third layer is user interface. And at the below, you'll be having computer hardware. That is, you'll have large number of resources of the computer system. And here at the top, we have the user who wants to make use of this operating system. We are going to discuss about each of these layers. So kernel, it includes those programs which can directly interact with the computer hardware. So kernel programs, they reside in the memory all the time, and these are the only programs which can interact with computer hardware. Then we have non-kernel programs. So non-kernel programs, initially they are stored on the disk and they are loaded in main memory of the system only when they are required. However, these non-kernel programs, they make use of the facilities provided by kernel programs. And at the top, we have user interface. So user interface is also a set of programs whose main goal is to provide communication between the user and the operating system. So user interface, it will make use of the services provided by the non-kernel programs. Non-kernel programs make use of the facilities provided by the kernel, and kernel, it includes those programs which can directly interact with hardware of the computer. Then we are going to discuss about the key concerns of an operating system. Okay, if you consider any of the operating system, there will be some key concerns, and with respect to those key concerns, the operating system will have some responsibility. Here we have four important key concerns for any of the operating system that include programs, resources, scheduling, and protection. So if you consider programs, it is a very basic necessity of any of the users. We want to see that the operating system should support the programs written by the users. With respect to these programs, the main responsibility of the operating system is to initiate and terminate the execution of the program. Once the program is submitted, the operating system must be able to initiate its execution, and also it should terminate the program execution depending on need. Then with respect to resources, that is the second concern, the operating system must ensure availability of the resources, and it should perform a fair allocation to the programs, and also it should perform deallocation of the resources. So with respect to resources, the important responsibility of the operating system is to ensure availability of the resources and managing these resources. So actually management means it should allocate, it should maintain the current status, and it should deallocate the resources depending on need. And we have the third concern called scheduling. Students, basically, scheduling means the process of selecting the program to be executed next. So in the operating system, there exists a large number of programs. Out of these large number of programs, the operating system has to decide one of the program to be executed next. The process of deciding the program to be executed next is called as scheduling. So this is also one of the important concern of any of the operating system. With respect to scheduling, the responsibility of the operating system is to decide when a program is to be executed, for how much time it should be executed, and for how long the CPU should be dedicated for that program. Then last one is protection. Once again, it is important concern. And with respect to data and programs, the operating system should see that there should not be any interference. A program should not create interference to other program, or data of a program or data of a user should not be interference with other programs. So like this, we have totally four primary concerns and their responsibilities. With respect to these concerns, we have the corresponding responsibility of the operating system. The next, we are going to look at the goals of the operating system. Students, whenever you develop any of the operating system, it will have certain goal. But if you look at the different operating systems, we have some common goals of the operating system. Very fundamental goals of the operating system include efficient usage of computer resources, user convenience, and non-interference in the activities of its users. We have three important goals: efficient usage of computer resources, user convenience, and non-interference in the activities of its users. The operating system must ensure that the available resources of the computer, such as memory, CPU, and I/O devices, they are efficiently used by the operating system. Efficient usage in the sense the available resources of the computer, such as memory, CPU, and I/O devices, they must be utilized effectively. Then the second one is user convenience. Basically, user convenience in the sense the operating system must be easy to use, or it should provide speedy response to the commands given by the users. But to measure user convenience, we have some facets. So actually, these facets means the measures for assessing the user convenience. We have a list of seven facets, that is necessity, good service, user-friendly operating system, new programming model, features for experts, web-oriented features, and evolution. We have totally seven facets, and we have an example for each of the facets. Suppose if you consider the first one, necessity. The very basic necessity of operating system is to execute the programs, and it should allow the users to make use of the file system. The very basic necessity of the operating system is to execute user programs and also provide an access to the file system. Good service example is the operating system should provide speedy response to the computational request. User-friendly operating system, as name itself indicates, it must be easy to use. The operating system can provide a good user interface, either text user interface or graphical user interface. Then the operating system must support new programming models such as concurrent programming or parallel programming, because we are finding advancement in technology. With respect to that advancement, the operating system must be able to make use of the available technology. It should support the new programming models which which are provided by the new technologies. Then the operating system must support feature for experts. The operating system, of course, it must be easy to use, but at the same time, it should support some features for experts. It must support means to set up complex computational structures. Okay, at the beginning, we can say that it must be easy to use for those who are using the operating system first time or second time. But once the people get exposure to that operating system, it should allow them to set up some complex computational structures. The operating system also should support web-enabled services. And finally, the operating system must be capable of evolving, means it must provide facilities to add some new features as and when required. So these are some of the facets of user convenience. And we have the last one, that is non-interference of the data and programs. This is the third goal of the operating system. The operating system must prevent the interference of resources, data, and programs. It can perform a fair allocation of resources and exclusive use of programs by the system, or it should prevent illegal access to the resources. So like this, we have totally three goals of the operating systems. Dear students, you can expect a question on this topic. The question might be like this: what is operating system, and explain the goals of an operating system. This question you can expect. So you must be able to define what is operating system, and you list out these three goals and write at least 2 to 3 lines about each of the goal. But remember, you must specify this particular table. You must have to write the facets of user convenience along with all the three goals of operating system. Dear students, we have the next topic, that is operation of an operating system. Here we are going to discuss about what are the basic functions of operating system along with some of the common tasks performed by the operating system. Okay, in generally, as we discussed, operating system is mainly something like a manager in the computer. Okay, so the basic functions of operating system include the program management, resource management, security, and protection. As we told, the basic necessity of the operating system is to support execution of the programs. So the operating system should manage the execution of the programs. Like it should initiate execution of the programs. It should provide whatever services that the program requires, and properly it should terminate the execution of the programs. And we have the second function, resource management. As we have discussed already, the computer is going to have large number of resources such as CPU, memory, IO device, disk, and so on. So managing these resources is one of the very important function of operating system. And the third function is to provide security and protection. So it must provide security to prevent illegal access. It should provide protection against data interference or program interference between the users. The next, here the author has listed out some of the common operations or common tasks performed by the operating system. First one is the operating system must maintain a list of authorized users. So nowadays, most of the time we are going to have multiple user operating systems. The operating system should maintain a list of all the authorized users. Then the operating system must construct list of all the resources available in the system. That is, the operating system should maintain a list of all the available resources in the system. It should execute the programs. The third task is the operating system must initiate execution of the program. The next, the operating system should maintain the resource usage, and it should also provide, or it should maintain the status of all the programs. The operating system should maintain the status of information about the resources and also about the status of all the programs which are submitted by the users. And it should maintain the current status of all the resources. That is, current status in the sense the resources which are allocated and which are free to allocate. And the operating system must perform scheduling operation. Then it should maintain information for protection, and also it should handle the requests made by the users and their programs. So these are some of the common operations or tasks performed by the operating system. First one is to maintain a list of all the users, to maintain list of all the resources. Second one, third one is to initiate execution of the programs. Fourth one, to maintain the current usage of resources. Fifth one is to maintain current status of all the resources along with the status of the programs. Sixth one is perform scheduling. As already we discussed, scheduling means the process of deciding which program is to be executed next. Then it should maintain information for protection. To protect the data and programs to avoid the interference, the operating system requires to maintain some information. Then the last one is it must handle the requests made by the users and their programs. So these are some of the common tasks or common operations performed by operating systems. Students, I'm going to stop this video. We'll continue the topics in second video. Thank you very much.